here with two students from Stonewall Elementary. They're in the 3rd grade, and today I'm going to be asking them a few questions about the topic of immigration. I first asked Will what his definition of immigration was. He said,
Immigration is when somebody moves from one country to the other.
Lorelai then said her definition of immigration is,
okay, so if you live in Ireland and you move to a different country, that's what immigration is.
I then asked the students how they believe the immigrants got to America. They both told me by boat. Let's listen to Will's response of the first primary source, the picture of the people on the boat. So you said that you thought they came by boat. So what about this picture? What's happening there?
I think they're rushing to get out of the boat.
Yeah, or maybe they're just traveling. Yeah. So that is a lot of people, isn't it? How many people do you think that is?
I don't know.
A lot, probably over 100, right?
Yeah, I think about approximately 136.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. Will then began to describe the conditions of the boat and how he felt about that.
You have no space. Strangers are all around you.
Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. Strangers. A lot of people came without their family. They just came by themselves, or maybe they were kind of the head of the household and they went by themselves to find money and work. I then asked Lorelai what she thought of the picture of the people on the boat. Let's listen to what she had to say. So, I'm going to ask you, how do you think you would feel if you were on this boat and you were coming to America?
You would probably not be able to see me in this picture, but I would just be like, Mommy.
Yeah, so you'd want to stay with your family. Yeah. So a lot of people, when they came to America, they had to go by themselves.
Whoa.
So they would split up from their family, and how would you feel if you had to do that? Would that be something fun, or would you enjoy that?
No, because that's happened to me before with my dad twice when he was deployed, and I did not like it.
I then asked Lorelai how she would feel if she was on the boat in that time period. Here's what she said.
That would not be very fun, just crowded. It's like these chairs. They're all crowded and stuff.
Yeah, they are. So there's a lot of people on there. How many people do you think are on that ship?
Maybe 1,000 to 2,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. For the next series of questioning, I began to ask Will about our second primary source, which was the inspections at Ellis Island. So what do you think this is? This one on the
They're
top?
at Ellis Island checking people to make sure they have no diseases.
Yes, you are so right. That's awesome. So what's happening here, do you think?
He's I think they're checking his temperature, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're maybe seeing if he's sick, and those look like kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then I asked Lorelai what she thought was happening in the picture of the inspections. Here's what she said.
They're getting checked for Ellis Island because there's a little baggage examiner to make sure they don't have any explosive stuff or weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And this person is getting checked to make sure he or she doesn't have any diseases.
Yeah, so it looks like he's checking maybe their temperature, or how the doctor looks in your mouth and says, say, why would they be doing that? Why would they be looking to see if they're sick?
Because back when people were immigrating most, there were no cures for I don't know, chickenpox.
If people were sick, there wasn't a lot of medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if people came into our country and they were sick, would that be a good thing?
No, because then they would have to go back.
Yeah, or it could spread, right?
Yeah.
Other people would get sick, and that wouldn't be good, and we would all be sick. I next asked Will what he thought about our third primary source, which was a picture of the baggage line at Ellis Island. Here's his response after I asked him what kinds of things he would bring.
Sort of depends, actually, on how big the suitcase is, and what I have.
Yeah.
Because if I had limited things and not very much that was special to me, then I wouldn't really have to bring that much.
Yeah, you're right. So what kind of things do you think you would bring? If you had to go today, because I know we didn't live in a long time ago. So if you had to go today,
A lot of clothes, maybe a little bit of food too.
Maybe food too.
Yeah, water.
Yeah, that's good. Would you
Sort
bring
of like
anything?
a survival kit type thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Would you try to bring anything like something that was valuable to you, or that you would like always want to keep with you? Was there be anything like that?
Probably.
Yeah, like what? You have any ideas? Like maybe pictures or?
Yeah, if part of my family was dead or I just couldn't see them, then I'd want a picture.
Here's Lorelai's response to the same series of questions that I just asked Will.
If I was one of these people, I would be carrying a tiny bag. I would be carrying a small bag with some of my toys in it.
Yeah, so what other kinds of things would you bring with you if you had to move from another country?
I would also bring like a blanket and a pillow for bedtime.
Yeah.
And I would also bring I have a special bag that I got from a dentist.
Oh yeah.
With a toothbrush and toothpaste and floss in it, and I'm gonna definitely bring that.
Next, I asked the students about the topic of immigration overall and how they felt about it being taught in school. Will's response was first. Let's take a listen. The topic of immigration, does that interest you? Is that something you like to learn about?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think that we should teach that in school?
Mm-hmm. You should teach, because you taught about it a little bit in reading class, but I think that a little bit more knowledge might be.
Yeah. What are some other things that you think you would want to learn about?
Well, I would want to learn about if there were any other major or minor places that people could come through, and they did that.
Yeah.
Just like in
If it just wasn't only New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that there are some. I just like to know where they are.
When I asked Lorelai about the topic of immigration, I got more of an interesting answer. Here's what she said. Do you enjoy the topic of immigration? Do you like learning about that?
Kind of.
Does it interest you?
Yeah.
Kind of? Why do you say kind of?
Because immigration is really annoying, as you can see from this picture.
So you think, but you do think it's interesting that how people came to America and, started our country?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's something that we should learn about in school?
Yeah.
How come?
Because if you don't learn about immigration, then like when people if you have a test, like if you just ignore it when you're learning about immigration, if you take a test on immigration, it's going to be really hard for you because you didn't listen. So that's why I think they should teach about immigration.
I really enjoyed doing this interview with the two students from Stonewall Elementary and learning more about what they think about the topic of immigration. Thank you for listening.